Okay, everyone, welcome back to Monday, where we take a look at Forex markets and crypto markets specifically. We really zoom into those. So, this episode, this segment, is actually being a little bit more about crypto right now, just because that's what's moving. There'll be a time where crypto will die down again. You'll stop hearing about it kind of every day on Twitter, and I'll be more interested in the FX space. But as someone with limited buying power, I have to go to where it's most exciting. And right now, that is in the crypto space. So I just want to quickly go over again my plan for a lot of these cryptos and kind of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So this particular scan that I have here on TrendSpider, which you can check out, basically is just looking for anchored VWAPs from all-time highs, cryptos that are getting near those anchored VWAP from all-time highs. So I just run this on Kraken and Coinbase, which is just basically where I have money from. And the idea is that I want stocks that are moving through these levels. And the reason that I picked that is if we take a look at like Solana, for example, when we had, let's go to a weekly chart, and I can draw this in place here. Right click, anchored VWAP. You can see this is the VWAP from all-time highs. When we broke that, that worked really well. There was a bunch of these names that I had. Doge worked well. Right, the anchored VWAP was, let's do weekly charts on these. Doge coin. Right, if you just draw an anchored VWAP kind of right here, that's not working, but yeah, there we go. So when it broke through that, that was a wicked trade there. We have Ripple as well, XRP, and XRP did the same thing where when you had XRP, when we broke that anchored VWAP from the all-time highs, the absolute rocket ship that we had in this name. So I'm just looking for more of these. One of those I've been talking about for some time that I do have some of is this Mana. I did this anchored VWAP right here, and I bought it through there at 45 cents. It's kind of hanging out at these prior highs. If it can get up and through there and get to this all-time highs, or the anchored VWAP from all-time highs all the way up at 180, if we get a move to that and through that like we've seen in the other ones, that'd be great. So this scan is doing just this, where the scan is doing just this, where it is looking for stocks that are close to those anchored VWAP. So another example here is JASYM. And this one, right, hit the anchored VWAP from all-time highs, messed around it for a little bit, and then broke, and now from 2.5 to 3 cents. Nothing too huge is standing out here other than this, which isn't quite, so that wasn't the anchored VWAP from all time. You can only go back so far in the scan. So it's still interesting, though. It's still rejecting that anchored VWAP very, very well. So if we can get through that, this STG USD is going to be something that I'm interested in. So again, I'm just doing it with exchanges that I have access to. You can do it with any list or any amount of coins that you have. That might be something I do going forward, where I build my own list and then scan that list periodically. Just a simple way to take the trades. As someone who knows nothing about the space really and nothing about the coins, I just need to build a very simple system that gets me involved when momentum is happening and will get me out when these anchored VWAPs break. So that's my idea when it comes to crypto. If we take a look, there's really nothing to add from the weekend videos. If we just take a look at Bitcoin here and we do it on the daily chart, it's still just messing around the zone. I think this is constructive action. My worry was it was going to come in and hit and break 100,000 very quickly and then smash back down. I think getting to 100,000 closely where I sold most, because everyone in the world seemed to be selling, and taking some time to digest through that gains, I think that is absolutely fine. As I mentioned, and what we do in this particular series, I go through and I set my alerts for exact prices that I'm interested in things occurring. So, for example, gold, right? I mentioned that what I'm watching in gold is we had this big relief move after the rally. Then we had or after the election, then we had a big push off of this prior zone that I highlighted right here. And now we're pulling back into that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just set an alert right here for gold. If we can reverse these highs, I'm going to get involved in gold. My stop loss is going to go worst case scenario at this kind of 6,500, probably more under this level right here, and see if we can get a push back up potentially at highs for gold. If gold fails, however, silver I mentioned is where I'm going to look to short. So I'm doing the exact opposite on this. If this hammer candle, which we still have 8 hours left in fails and we break back under this kind of $30 area, that's where I'll look to short. So again, this is how I trade this space because it's pretty much always open. I want to scan through it once a week. I want to look at important levels of support and resistance. I want to set my alerts and then I want to ignore it because only when we get to that level, I'll zoom down to a 30-minute chart or a 1-hour chart and look for some evidence that there is something occurring that I think there should be. So Euro, for example, you can see the alert that I already have here at 105, or call it 106, right? Just even. That's because this thing is down quite a bit. If we, sorry, I thought that was a stochastic. That's a MACD. But, we're back at this major level that we've been in for a long time. We are pretty extended to get there. And, I always try and remind myself that the Forex space is more of a mean reversion type place. I'm not looking for 5-to-1 risk rewards. I'm looking for kind of a 1-to-1 to come in, take the trade, risk $1,000, make $1,000, be right, little bit more than I'm wrong, and just let those numbers play out over the long run. So if we can get this reversal move from Euro USD, that's the look at what I'm looking at here. The other one was the New Zealand dollar, so I have to set that. The idea is that we have this strong level on the New Zealand dollar right here. So I'm just looking for evidence here on the daily chart that we are going to respect that zone. And if we start to push through that, the other place that's interesting to me, just because I have positions, is in USD JPY. I am going to look to sell this one on I believe, a trend line reversal, right? So I can set that alert very easily. I could say, here's my trend line. And if this trend line breaks, that's where I want to get out of my position. Because when I'm in a position like this that I think has a little bit more potential than your general Forex or market position, I want to set something. So an anchored VWAP, a trend line, a moving average, whatever it is to trail. Normally, I'm in. I want to get most of my money out really, really quickly because Forex, jostles around. However, we have the Bank of Japan that is essentially saying they want this chart to go down. So if this lag kind of replicates itself, then from here to here, and then you just take that move and you extend it down, well, you're talking a pretty decent move down to 133, 134 on this type of move. So that's kind of what I'm looking for if the Bank of Japan is going to step back in and you're going to have a crazy move like that. Aussie yen breaking down as well. But that's what I'm looking for. If I wanted to mention too, if Bitcoin fails, I'm going to watch this Bitcoin Ethereum relationship, ETH BTC. So essentially, this chart is Ethereum over Bitcoin. So if this is pointing up, it means that Bitcoin is underperforming Ethereum and vice versa. You can see for most of history, when it comes to crypto, you had Bitcoin doing much better than Ethereum. It looks like, however, that could be reversing here. And if so, again, just means more meme coins, more altcoins, altcoin season, as the kids call it. So I'm watching this. If this is going to continue, then I may actually take a look at Ethereum that has been a bit of the dog of the crypto space. It hasn't gotten to all-time highs at about 5,000, hasn't even gotten through those. So there may be some room here. And the thing that I wanted to talk about with this is that in choppy markets, which Forex is, or in raging bull markets, which crypto is in right now, it's often good to buy resistance, sell support, buy laggards, sell leaders, that kind of thing. Because if somebody's making a lot of money owning Shibu Inu or whatever, they're more likely just to pull that money and instead of selling it outright, take some profits, put it somewhere else, take some profits, put it somewhere else. And that kind of lifts these weaker stocks up. In bear markets, you want to do the complete opposite, where you only want to hold the strongest names out there because they're the names that are going to, keep everything. Keep everything down. Like in bear markets, I'm worried about, okay, I need to raise cash because I'm worried about an economy, I'm worried about a market, whatever it is. But in bull markets, it makes sense to go after the leaders or the laggards. In bear markets, you want to stick with the leaders. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Ethereum has a big level here of resistance. If we can get through that and we can get through these prior highs right here, then again, it could be good for Ethereum and it could be good for some of these alt names, things that are built on Ethereum's like Mana. I'll make a list. If you go into, down here, in TradingView at the very bottom, it will tell you what contract this particular code is built off of. You can go to their website and all that kind of stuff, but right here it will tell you, hey, this is who has, or this is the contract. It's either generally Solana or Ethereum that this is kind of built off of. So this Ethereum right here, again, could be very interesting. So, just keep an eye on that when it comes to all of these different cryptos. If you're someone who's not interested and you're actually kind of annoyed with everyone talking about crypto, I would still say that you should, even if it's only $100, put into an exchange account and just start to play with it. Because recently, and I'm going to do a whole video about this, recently the US has approved a 24-hour exchange. So soon stocks are going to be trading just like crypto is. And if your software provider or if yourself isn't ready for that, that's going to be a big deal. So make sure that you're coming up with a plan on how you're going to adapt to a 24-hour trading cycle, because we are on our way. It could be just next year that we start to see a 24-hour trading cycle. So, get ready for it. Beauty is crypto. There's no pattern day trader rule. Commissions are usually just a percentage of what it is you're trading. So you can start with just a very, very microscopic account and just kind of get a feel for how things move when you don't have the physical capability of watching it all the time. Right? Unless you're going to stay up 24/7, 365, you got to just put out orders and let them work. I think it'll be better for most people that will occur. So again, just get ready for it, start trading it, even if it's something that you're not super interested in.